Hello everyone. I hope you're doing well. Today's topic is this: sometime you becomes the victim of someone else's suspicion. They question you, they hint at doubt, and before you know it, they have planted doubt in your mind too. And you start thinking, why is this person suspicious of me? So the real question is, what's the root cause? Why you? Why are they suspicious of you in the first place? And most importantly, how do you handle a suspicious person without losing your exposure and without letting their doubt control your mind? We often hear, don't think negatively, think positively. And yes, there's truth in that. But negative thinking does not appear out of nowhere. It has pillars that support it. And one of the biggest pillars is this: being suspicious all the time. Sometimes you're suspicious of a colleague, a friend, a family member, and in rare cases, even yourself. So, in this talk, we will balance the idea because suspicion is not always bad. Sometimes it protects you, but if it becomes a habit, it becomes poison. And I will show you a simple tool, a table that you can use in real life, especially when you're trying to make a decision under pressure. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about people who are suspicious all the time and how you can become a victim of their suspicion. When someone tells you they don't trust you or they hint at it indirectly, two things might be happening. First, you may have done something or communicated something poorly that made them question your credibility. Maybe you weren't clear, maybe you promised something too quickly, maybe you did not follow up properly. These things matters. But second, they may have trust issues and they see risk everywhere. Sometimes it's fear, sometimes it's insecurity, and sometimes, yes, it can be narcissism. They believe only they can do things properly and everyone else is a risk. So how do you deal with that? How do you work out what's really going on? Here's the problem. When someone is suspicious of you, your instinct is to react emotionally. You defend yourself, you argue, you try to prove your innocence. And sometimes that reaction makes you look more suspicious. So we need a method that brings you back to the balance. If you are dealing with someone suspicious, in business, in family, with friends, draw a table. In the first column, write what exactly are they accusing me of or implying. In the next two columns, tick whether it's positive or negative for them from their point of view. Because sometimes a person becomes suspicious not because they hate you, but because they think suspicion protects them. Then ask yourself, what did I say or do last time that could have triggered this suspicion? Think whether your action was positive or negative. And finally, write possible solutions and next steps. By the end, you will usually discover one of the two outcomes. Either you genuinely made a mistake and you can correct it, or the other person is being unfairly negative and you are actually in the right. Most of the time, without a second reflection, we react emotionally. We accuse, we blame, we defend ourselves, and then later we realize we did not even understand the real problem. So let me give you an example. This morning, my business partner received a call from an associate. The associate did not accuse him directly, but he implied that the person my partner is dealing with might be trying to rip him off. In other words, he was saying, I don't fully trust your solution in this situation. He did not say it bluntly because it's not always professional to do that, especially in business. In industries like the gold trade, people often communicate doubt indirectly. Now, before we fill in the table, here's the scenario. My partner worked in the gold business. He found a seller who is supposed to bring gold from Africa, and he asked his associate to manage part of the deal. Then a problem came up. The supplier told the associate there was a visa issue. My partner said he could help arrange an urgent visa, but the contact person handling it charges a fee because it's urgent. The associate, however, pushed back and said the agency is overcharging, creating pressure, and that he could get it cheaper through someone he knows. But my partner's point was simple. This agency has already issued urgent visas for many people. So why suddenly is the associate no longer confident in him? So we draw the table. The other person is trying to rip you off. I propose solution, urgent visa via an agency. I'm putting too much pressure to follow my solution. Should I confront him? Should I stick to my position? He should follow my advice. What if my advice fails and affects both of us? He trusts someone else rather than me. He is too afraid to confront the supplier directly. Should I confront the supplier without him? When you do this, you stop reacting blindly and you start making decisions in a balanced way. So what's happened next? My partner stayed firm and told his associate to inform the supplier that an urgent visa might be necessary through the solution my partner had already arranged. And this is the point I want to highlight. The associate eventually revealed the real issue. He was not simply being careful. He was trying to control the situation. He wanted my partner to trust his way of handling things, and when my partner did not immediately agree, the associate became defensive and start talking about his own level and experience. To be fair, he is not a bad person. But in business, confidence without results can become ego, and ego often turns into suspicion. People like that don't just doubt others, they doubt everyone because deep down they fear losing control. So we found the root problem. It was not the supplier, it was the associate's mindset. And here's the reality. You cannot always change people like this, but you can protect yourself. You can keep your guards up. You limit what you delegate and you insist on clarity, because a real leader does not say that's not how I do things and disappear. A leader say let's speak to the supplier together. Let's verify the facts and then decide. Now let's balance the idea. Suspicion is not always a weakness. If you're about to send money, sign a contract, trust a stranger, or enter a deal, suspicion can protect you. It's your warning system, but there's a line. When suspicion becomes a lifestyle, it makes you hesitate too much, assume the worst, damage relationship, and miss real opportunities. And if you are suspicious of everyone, you eventually become lonely because you make trust impossible. So the goal is not to remove suspicion, the goal is to control it. Here's a simple rule. Be suspicious of the situation, not of the person. Because when you attack a person, you create conflict. But when you examine a situation, you create clarity. So instead of saying, I don't trust you, say, I want to verify the facts. Instead of saying, you are lying, say, help me understand the process. That's how you stay powerful without becoming toxic. Suspiciousness can make people weak, not because they are cautious, but because they hesitate, assume the worst, and avoid direct communication. So if someone's suspicion starts shaking your confidence, do something simple. Draw the table, separate facts from feelings, and stick to a balanced decision. Don't let their doubt infect your mind. Stay calm, stay clear, stay in control. Thank you.